Hi, everybody. My name is Donna, and I'm here to give you my full testimony of how Jesus saved me. I'm going to break it up in different parts because it's quite a journey, and God has done so much for me and continues to do so much for me. And I just want to share with you so that brings glory to Him, and hopefully it'll help someone that is going through the same struggles I have been through. I did do a previous testimony, but I left a few things out, and the Holy Spirit just convicted me to basically redo them and put it back up online so I can share. I would like to start this first part of my testimony of just focusing on, my background and how I came to the Lord and how I got to know Him. So I grew up with a single mom. My parents divorced when I was 3 or 4 years old, and we were refugees from Vietnam. We were boat people, and they basically divorced when we were in the refugee camp. And when we moved to the States, they went separate ways. My mom took the four younger children; they had six together, and I'm the fourth child out of the six kids. So the fourth oldest child out of the six children. So we moved to California, and we were very, very, very poor. We had nothing. So my mom did what she could to support, four young children. And I learned so much from my mom. But she wasn't a woman of faith. She was a hard worker. She persevered through her trials, and God has always been there for our family regardless if we knew or not. He was always there protecting us, guiding us, and we are where we are because of him. But of course, back then, not growing up, not knowing who God was, who Jesus really is, I just always had a sense that God existed and Jesus existed, but that was about it for me as a child. Um, and there were moments in my life when I was younger, I would pray to him for the things I was going through. But as I grew older, the teen years hit, with my mom working a lot and not having a father figure around. I did become a very rebellious child and did my own thing. And eventually, when I was 20, I got addicted to meth unwillingly and unknowingly. I did not know what it was. And it was introduced to me through a friend of my brother's. And the first time I tried it, I did not feel anything. So I was like, oh, this is nothing. And not knowing what I got myself into, I tried it again the second time. And that was when I felt a sense of like really height with a lot of energy. I was able to focus on a lot of things, and it felt good. And it took my mind away from the things I was going through during that time. It made me forget. And as I got into using it more and more daily, it became a part of me. I realized one day I became an addict. The first thing I thought of when I woke up was, how am I going to get my next fix? And just throughout the day, just scrounging for money, for food. My mom was so busy working to make ends meet for us that you know, didn't notice. She had, she had suspicion, but she had no proof. And we, as in terms of me and some people that were close family friends, and a sister of mine, we all got wrapped up into it, not knowing what we had got wrapped up into. And by the time that I realized I was addicted, it was too late to get out of it. I was in my addiction. I used to see, this is when I opened the door for very demonic entities and powers to come into our home. And I would get it's not night terrors. I would get like sleep paralysis, what they would call in psychology. But I knew I was awake during those times where I was being attacked. I could see the entire room I would feel pressure on my chest. I couldn't move. I would hear evil laughter, evil speaking. I would see, when I'm awake, even at times, I would see dark shadows just running from one side of the house to the next. So we had essentially let open a door to the enemy. And I did not know that. I just knew that I was experiencing all these really bad nightmares, or even not even dreams, because I wasn't even dreaming when some of these stuff were happening. So, not knowing that I had opened a door, I kept being sucked into the addiction, and the enemy completely had my soul at that time. And I was not aware of that. I just remember a year has passed, and one day I just cried out to God. I didn't know who He really was. I just cried out to God, and I just said, God, I don't want to live like this anymore. I just want to be normal. I see people getting into the car, driving to work in the morning, just doing normal things, getting off from work and being with their friends or family. And I just want that. I just want that. I don't want to live this life anymore. And I remember the next day, God completely took that addiction away. And I did not crave it. I did not crave meth. I completely, that desire, that addiction was completely taken out of me. And I know it's a miracle in itself. And I know that it doesn't happen to a lot of people. But from from that day forth, I knew God was real, but I just didn't know who He was. And so I just felt, when He took that addiction out, I just felt so much joy and so much peace. And I told myself I would be on a journey to find who God is.